This is episode 51. Have you ever heard of the term duplicate content? And have you ever wondered if it is negatively affecting your keyword rankings? Well, today we will go over what it is and how you can actually prevent it from happening to your site. Welcome to the Calm Marketer Podcast. My name is Kenneth Fong, a digital marketer on a mission to help businesses thrive. I'll bring you on my marketing journey where you'll get to learn from my experiences as an INFP navigating an extroverted world and get actionable marketing tips for your business. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Now let's begin. If you have been in the SEO space for a while, or if you have done SEO on your website, you know that duplicate content is bad for your search engine rankings. So, what is duplicate content? It's basically two pages that are identical to each other. The content on one page is the exact same as the content on another page on your site. The reason why this is bad is because you will send the wrong signals to Google and they don't know exactly which page they should focus on. They don't know which page to rank for. And you don't want to make Google confused because if they are confused, then your rankings will suffer in Google. So what you want to do is make sure that every single page on your site has unique content that satisfies a specific search query. Now, the way we mitigate duplicate content is using this method called canonicalization. So canonicalization is basically adding what is called canonical tags to a duplicate URL or a page to make sure that that page isn't indexed in Google. So for example, you have two pages, and these two pages have the exact same content, but you only want one page to rank in Google. So what you do is add a canonical tag to that duplicate page, and that canonical tag should have the original URL in it. All right, so that's how you set up a canonical tag. Now, this duplication, especially with links, is very common. So if you have ever set up UTM tracking codes, to track links from other places pointing to your site, you want to make sure those UTM tracking codes don't get indexed in Google. In many cases, Google will read those URLs with those tracking codes attached to them and index them, and you don't want that. So the way to mitigate that is to make sure you have a canonical tag on the main URL, right? The main URL, the main page pointing to itself. So it's a self-referencing canonical tag. That way, when Google lands on that page, Google knows that that page and that URL are the only ones that should be indexed in Google. And any other URLs with UTM tracking codes appended to it, they should ignore. Another area where duplicate links often occur is if you have URLs for different sections in the same page, right? So if you have like links that jump to different sections on a page, sometimes those links could get indexed too. And you don't want that to happen. You only want the main URL to be indexed in Google and not those other links with those jump characters that jump to the other sections of the page. So you want to make sure you set up a rel canonical tag on that page too. And also, if your domains aren't redirected properly, you may want to look at setting up canonical tags as well. So for example, on your homepage or any page, right, you need to make sure that whether or not your page starts with www or not, right? You need to make sure that only one URL is going to the homepage and not, www.yoursite.com and yoursite.com, right? They should all be redirecting to one page, to one URL. Even with the HTTPS versus HTTP, you want all of those other URLs to redirect to the main URL. Okay. If they are not redirecting properly, and if you for some reason cannot set up those 301 redirects, you can make sure you add a rel canonical tag on the main homepage pointing to the main URL, right? So that's one way to fix any redirect issues on your site. And how do you do these rel canonical tags? Well, there's WordPress plugins. If you have a WordPress site, you are in luck because there are tons of SEO plugins that you can install that will actually set it up for you automatically. You don't even need to worry about it. So that's the beauty of WordPress is there are really cool plugins that will do all of this canonical tagging for you, the canonicalization process on their own, and you don't need to worry about it. So there's Yoast, there's also Rank Math, there's also All-in-One SEO. I personally use Rank Math as my go-to SEO plugin for my sites and my client sites. But feel free to check out whichever one you feel most comfortable with. And yeah, hopefully you thought this kind of overview was helpful. I know it can be a little convoluted and confusing at times, but as long as you have one URL, one page, you're good to go. So hopefully you thought this was helpful, and I will see you on the next episode.